Please stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténganse alejado de las puertas. Please stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténganse alejado.
Because this here's the wildest ride in the wilderness.
Hello, everyone. I'm Alicia.
I'm Nathan.
I'm Meredith.
And I'm Rachel.
And welcome to Adventures and Mousecapades.
This week, we're going to share the secret to walk-ons at all the attractions you want to do at Disney World. Guaranteed. Just show up during a hurricane.
Yeah. Yeah.
No? I mean, it's a pro tip, right?
I guess.
I mean, they stayed open. The storm kind of just like brushed by and nobody was in the parks. We saw something online that like somebody was scrolling through all the wait times and they were all like less than 5 minutes, less than 5 minutes, less than 5 minutes. I was like, damn, why aren't we there?
I will say we have done that before. The day after a storm, we went and there is nobody in the parks. It's great. It is.
That's the time to go, though.
It was
I
glorious.
guess. If you're okay with damp weather. Yeah.
Yes. That damp weather.
Yes. I could have said moist, but I didn't.
Takes shaping to a whole new level.
That's right. All right. Who the heck are these people that are on the phone with us?
We are going to go off the rails. I'm just going to say that now.
Yup.
We are talking with Rachel and Mare, our good friends from Orlando, Florida, that we met on a cruise and became fast friends with, and we go visit them as much as we can.
That's right.
You're welcome anytime.
Woohoo.
Awesome. We should probably go through your Disney history. So let's start with Mare. This could be like childhood through adult. What is your history of Disney?
Oh, geez. I have been going to the parks since I was little. My grandparents lived down here in Florida when I was very young. So we would come and visit them and go to the parks all the time. When I was in high school, I decided that I wanted to work for Disney World someday. And so when I got into college, I applied to the Disney College program, came down here my freshman year of college and worked an internship, went back to college, finished college, and came right back down. So I have been down here in Florida. I've worked for the company for many years. I don't work for the company anymore, but still live in the Orlando area and love to visit the parks and definitely love cruising with Disney as well.
That's the best.
Absolutely. All right, Rachel, your turn.
All right. So I didn't know you were going to ask me this. I grew up a huge Disney fan, of course. And then my senior year of high school, my mom took me on a trip. So she brought me to Disney World with two of my girlfriends, and we stayed at the Contemporary and had a blast. And one of the days we were just monorail hopping, and we went to the Grand Floridian, and Cinderella's carriage was parked at the wedding pavilion. And I about lost my mind. I was so excited, and I didn't know what to do. Back then, like, you had just rigged the disposable cameras, right? Like, I didn't know what was going on. So I made my mom stand like she was going to take my picture, and I ran up to the carriage and turned around as fast as I could and smiled so she could take the picture and I could run. Well, the cast members were dressed up in their get up head to toe, the ones that drive the carriage, and he caught me.
Uh-oh.
And he stopped and he was like, "Miss, you're going to have to come back here." And I was like so nervous. I was like, I just got in trouble. I'm going to Disney jail. What's happening? And so I walked back over and he was like, "If you need the picture, you have to get the right picture." And like he took my hand and like acted like I was going to step up into the carriage and let my mom retake the picture.
Oh.
Holy crap. I mean, what, you fast forward that like how many years later, and I actually got married at the wedding pavilion.
Yeah.
Didn't have the carriage, but got married at the wedding pavilion. So I met my husband, Bill, who I believe you've also interviewed on the show.
Oh, yeah.
We got married at the wedding pavilion. I worked about 10 years with the company. So, and then transferred out, have been doing other things, very happy with my career path, but, we love the product, we love the brand, and we love to cruise.
Indeed. So we're all platinum here now, aren't we?
Yes, we are.
Yay!
Mare finally made it.
How about you?
She was refreshing her phone on the way home from the port to see that it had updated. I kid you not.
I did indeed.
She was going to be calling customer service if that didn't happen.
Yeah. I just wanted to see it on there.
So platinum means you have gone on 10 Disney cruises.
Yes.
And you get different benefits for hitting platinum. Your very first cruise, you're just a cruiser. After that, you become a silver. And then after 5 cruises, you become gold.
Yep.
And then after 10 cruises, you are platinum. And now they added a tier. After 25, you are pearl status, something
Stretch
to
goal.
work towards. Yes.
They actually added something recently too. They've said that if you get to 50, your name goes on a sign at Lighthouse Point.
Yes.
You
I
saw
did
that.
see that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I saw that article.
I don't know if we'll get there. That's
How many are you guys at? Come on.
14?
13, 14,
Yeah.
something like that.
Oh, I have more than you for
Yes.
now.
Yeah, but we have like 3 in the next
I know.
9 months or something like that. So
I was telling Nathan earlier, I was like, we could just do a lot of shorter back-to-backs and get there really quickly. Because we have a tendency to do the longer
that's
ones.
cheating.
Which takes.
it is cheating. And frankly, we got that chance to tour a bunch of other cruises or cruise line offerings here in Seattle a couple months ago. And I'm really intrigued about some of the other options that are out there, namely Celebrity.
I've never done Celebrity.
We talked about wanting to try it.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get Bill to agree for y'all to come out here in 2025, and we're going to do an Alaska cruise.
I'm in.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I'm in. Can we just like handshake now and then he can just say he's
virtual
he's
handshake.
committed?
We're all shaking our hands. Yes.
Yep.
It's commitment.
Done.
There we go.
So I think the opening day for that itinerary will be sometime in November. So we'll have to we'll jump on it. We'll figure out what's going on.
Oh, so I have to book that before I go on my next. Oh, okay.
See, we're trying to corrupt you. You got to get like us, where you have like multiple cruises on multiple cruise lines booked up at the same time
For years in advance.
Listen, what did we planned Panama 2 years in advance.
This is
Yes.
true.
Yep.
We did October 2018. Mhm.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and now Meredith and I are planning Sydney, which we were planning for what's going to feel like 2 years.
Mhm.
And so,
Yeah.
yeah, it's exhausting.
Keep a spreadsheet.
Exhausting. First world problems. Woe is us.
Very much first world problems. We should probably say what we're talking about today.
Oh.
No, I think we just keep doing this. It'll be great. It's going to be super compelling.
We are talking with Rachel and Meredith today because they have been on many, many cruises, and they just got back from taking a cruise on the Disney Wish, which they have never done before.
Woohoo.
And it is a different type of ship, and we wanted to get their thoughts about it.
It's very different.
It is
Uh-huh.
very
Yeah.
Mhm.
We'll get there. We'll go over what happened and what y'all saw. We'll kind of end with so what'd you think?
How many cruises has each of you been on, and how many different lines have you been on, and what Disney ships? All the questions.
I'll go first while Rachel tallies up. I could see the wheels turning there, so I'll give you some time. As far as cruise lines, I have done 4. I've done Norwegian. I've done quite a few on Royal Caribbean, Disney, and then technically it's Disney, but it was Big Red Boat way back in the day. I did
The
one
OG.
cruise on the Big Red Boat. Yes.
Excellent.
So in total, I've done probably upwards of 20 to 30 cruises total. So about half of them have been with Disney.
Got it. Rachel.
Okay, I've probably done 20-ish too. One on Carnival. We won't talk about that ever again. A handful on Royal Caribbean, which we love. And then the rest have been on Disney. And yes, I've been on all 5 ships now.
Nice.
Me too. Oh, I forgot that. Yes, I've been on all at least once.
We're almost there.
Yeah, we haven't been on the Dream yet.
Nope. We're going to fix that in the spring.
Yes, we will.
Okay, so you've been around the block a few times. The Wish is very different from the other ships that are in the Disney fleet, but that's not necessarily bad. What'd you think? What were your first impressions getting on board?
I think getting on board, the initial entrance and everything, it felt very much like boarding the other ships. I mean, I know the atrium is bigger and a little grander, but the actual process of getting on board and even initially getting on board felt very much the same. I had heard a lot about how different it was, but at that point it didn't really feel different. It wasn't until we really started to explore the ship that I started to notice kind of some of the differences. Beautiful. Love the theming and, everything, because it's still so new and everything's, nice and shiny. So it was beautiful, but it didn't really feel that different for me personally when we kind of got on board.
Okay. Rachel, how did you guys?
Yeah, I will say like kind of that shock and awe. Like you walked on, you felt we welcome the Carlson family, and everybody claps, and you get on, and then we stood there for a second and went, okay, where to? And we looked around and we're like, I have no idea. Do you want to go right or left? It was almost a game. Like it was like, okay, you pick right or left, and then when we get to the next part, I'll pick right or left, and we're just going to end up where we end up because we have no idea.
Yeah.
That did make it a little more fun because normally we have like a routine. We know some of the other ships, and it's like we get on board, we know we go straight here, we do this first and whatever. So yeah, we got on board and it was like the world is our oyster. We don't know what to do or where to go. So that made it kind of fun.
Had you looked at the deck plans before? Did you know what anything was like, or just figure it out as you go?
I had tried to study them for days, and I still went on and was like, really? Like clueless. But guess where we ended up? Just take one guess.
I mean, it's probably going to be some sort of establishment that offered libations.
Correct. That was also on the deck that we walked in on, and also is Andrew, so Meredith's husband's favorite.
Hyperspace.
Yes, we did.
Hyperspace. Yes.
That makes sense.
Which I thought was awesome.
Yeah. We weren't sure how crowded it was going to be during the cruise, especially since it was a shorter 3-night. So we were like, if there's space, we're going to go in there. So we make sure we experience it because that was top of my husband's list. So we went there first.
What did you think of it?
Loved it.
Awesome. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. They couldn't have themed it any further than they did. It was themed from top to bottom. It's kind of the skyline where the scenery changes, but yet you're in hyperspace. So like the whole thing, I swear the whole room was vibrating. They tell me I'm wrong, but the whole thing was vibrating and you got to go through hyperspace and it was amazing.
I wonder if they've added some more decorations, because what we heard from folks on like the inaugural cruises, like right when they started, it was like that back wall was just like completely blank. And when we were on there was like a couple things hanging on the wall, but there wasn't a ton. It sounds like they've even added even more decorations to kind of fill it out.
Yeah, there were definitely decorations. And we also had the Magic Band Plus that they've just recently started testing. So the Magic Band also interacted with the screen. So when we went into hyperspace, our Magic Bands vibrated, and when ships approached, it would light up a different color if it was a friendly ship or a bad guy. And that kept me entertained because
that's cool.
I follow Star Wars, but I don't know. Like my husband was naming the ships, and I don't know that much. So I had a lot of fun with the Magic Bands too. And that made it a lot more interactive.
I actually made the same comment because it vibrated constantly. Like when ships were coming and going, and when you get to hyperspace, I said, I need one of these in my daily life. Like just to vibrate every 45 seconds and bring me back to reality. I was like, this is great.
That wouldn't be annoying at all.
Yeah. Are the Magic Band, they're included with their cruises now, right? Or did you have to buy them? You had to buy them separate? Okay.
They were discounted if you got them through the cruise line, but you did have to buy them.
Do any of the Magic Band Plus work, or do you have to get specific Disney cruise ones?
No, Bill and I got ours from the park.
Okay.
So they were just generic. Mine was just a pink one. And as long as it was linked to your DMX account, they just tapped it when you boarded. And then that was your room card, your key card. They still have some room to make it better. Because every time I ordered a drink, I had to take my Magic Band off and hand it to the server.
Yes, we've heard that the point of service that they have, they're not mobile.
Yeah.
Room to grow.
Yep.
Okay, so you went to hyperspace first.
We did.
What was your stateroom type?
So we had two different. So we have two different observations. Andrew and I had an ocean view. So it was basically a floor to ceiling porthole window. But
wow.
we had one with a window.
We had an interior cabin. So we booked it last minute and we weren't really concerned about getting to see outside because it was only 3 days. So we did an interior and I loved it. I really did. However they reconfigured the bathroom, I thought was the best. Like it gave you more space and the showers, hold on to your hats, people. It was not as long, but it was wider.
Mm.
Yeah.
And instead of having those stupid curtains, I'm sorry, Disney, but it had a glass panel.
Mhm.
So you could get in and out easier, and then you didn't have that thing sticking to you. You know what I'm talking about if you ever showered on a cruise line. So huge thing. But then I will say, are you ready? The best enhancement of all is they have the night light in the bathroom.
Yes.
Yes.
It's the best.
If you are an avid cruiser like myself, and those on the line, I take a portable light with me. It's like the toilet light you can buy at your local retailer. I won't mention. But you have to have the batteries, right? You have to recharge it and stuff. And then I use that because those fluorescent lights in the bathroom are horrible at 2 a.m. in the morning.
Yes.
And you're stumbling around, you don't know where you are. They put a bathroom nightlight in, and I am so pumped about it.
Yep. And it's down on the floor, like under the kick of the cabinets.
So it's
like
not
it's
right. It's perfect.
Yeah. Long time coming.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What was the theme in each of your rooms?
Oh, mine was Sleeping Beauty.
Okay.
Mine was too.
Okay.
Yes.
Well,
yeah.
we were on the
like,
same deck on the same side, so it could have been everybody in our area.
Okay. I think there's maybe 2 princesses per deck. I could be wrong.
Yeah, I think they alternate. So if you have connecting rooms, they're 2 different themes for the rooms.
I didn't know that.
So, yeah. Yep.
There was a lot of mirrors in ours. Like by the window, there was the whole wall was mirrors. So it was great for getting ready for dinner, but it also just made the room feel so much bigger because it was, the reflection instead of just a wall. Yeah. So, and how big the window was. Like they had a chair right there and we would just sit there and I didn't even need a balcony. And my room stayed so much colder because I didn't have a balcony door. So I really enjoyed the ocean view. I would probably get that again. I don't know that I would get a balcony.
What deck were you on?
9.
Okay.
9.
Okay. Nice. And did you have good weather for the sailing? No?
I wish I could show you the picture. When we were doing the safety drill, we were on an outside deck and literally you could see the thunderstorm coming at us. And you're like, can we go inside yet? Are we done? Can we go? And then Nassau, it rained and was pretty dark and gloomy until probably like 2:00.
We didn't ever plan to get off in Nassau, so we didn't have an issue with it, but I'm sure some of the activities were canceled. But Castaway Day was beautiful. It was nice and sunny and gorgeous. So that was what mattered.
Nice.
Very cool.
Did you do any adult dining?
Yes, Andrew and I did. We did brunch. I didn't want to do dinner because we wanted to experience all 3 restaurants since we only had 3 nights. But even though it was a 3-night, they did Palo brunch at Nassau Day. So we booked Palo brunch and really enjoyed it. Yeah. They really talked up the dinner menu because it is a little different than any of the other Palos. So I would absolutely go and do dinner at Palo on another sailing. But the brunch, it was the same menu, but I don't know. The food just seemed better. Service was fantastic. Layout was beautiful. Even though it was rainy, we had a table by the window, so we got to look out over, the Nassau Harbor. So it was awesome. We really enjoyed it.
Yeah, we did a 4-night, and so we were able to do Apollo dinner on Pirate Night, and dinner was fantastic. At
brunch
Apollo.
was too.
Yeah, exactly. We did both. We did both. All right, rotational dining. Let's go through this. 1923. What'd you think?
I really enjoyed it.
Loved it.
Yeah. I will say blanket statement across the board. The food was fantastic.
Oh.
And I probably haven't said that about a cruise in 10 years, but the food was legit fantastic.
Yes. That's awesome because it was decent when we were there, a year ago. Was that a year ago? Yeah, it was a year ago.
Yeah.
And then like the year before that, like as things were, coming back and the Wish was just getting going, we were on the Fantasy and the food was, then the service was, that was the cruise that we were on. And that's awesome to hear that it's coming back. The server that we were with in April of this year, that when Alicia and I just did a cruise, was saying that it's taken Disney a little bit of time to, they had to bump up their staffing levels because they launched a new ship. And I think they perhaps lowered the bar or had to have some time to train people up on the Disney way and weed some people out who weren't going to meet the Disney metric. And so it's great to see that it's coming back. It makes me a little apprehensive for what's going to come up in the next couple years as they launch 3 new ships.
Yeah, 3 new ships. And then that huge, whatever the global dream is going to become.
Yep. So we'll see, but I'm glad it's getting back there. That's great news.
So 1923, good.
Yeah, I was going to say that. The 1923, it was quaint. The theming was amazing, and the way they broke up the dining rooms, you didn't feel like you were in a big like cattle call cafeteria, right? You felt like you were sitting at a booth with your best friend.
Yeah.
And like I said, the theming was great. So like again, I think we were in the Sleeping Beauty one again. It was all Sleeping Beauty for us, but it was delightful. And there's no like show, so it's literally just come in, enjoy your food, and get out.
What side were you on?
We were on Roy.
Roy?
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't realize there were sides until we went down, and Rachel texted and said, "Which restaurant are you in?" And I'm like, "We're in 1923." And she's like, "Yeah, but Roy or Waltz." And I was like, I didn't realize that they had it split up like that. But yeah, we were on the Roy side.
I actually think that helps it feel less like a gigantic cafeteria room. And I mean, they're by no means small, but they're still like, it's nice. It's great.
It feels more intimate.
And they even have it split up within the restaurant itself, though, within the 2 sides.
Yeah.
I like how they do that.
It was good.
Okay, next one is Worlds of Marvel.
This one was my favorite.
Was it?
It was awesome.
Yeah. Nice.
Wow.
It's kind of like the animators, but they took it to the whole Marvel basis. I love Marvel. I'll Iron Man till I die. I just thought it was super creative, right? It was interactive, yet it wasn't intrusive. And it really flowed really well with how when they served your meal. So there was, they would take it and then you'd get a little show, and then they'd bring your app and there was a little show, and then so it was incorporated. It was, again, my favorite, Mare.
No, I agree. And I had even commented, because I was like, oh, this is like animators, and animators, when they do the show, it's always a longer dinner. We always kind of prepare for there to need to be extra time. And so I had even said something about, oh, well, tonight's going to be a little bit longer. And it was not. Like they had it timed out and paced really well. We were sitting right by, spoiler alert, where comes. And so
I'm going to bleep that out.
Okay, you can remove it. You can remove it. But yeah, we were sitting right there, so like got that interaction as well. It was really, really great. I loved that one. Yeah.
What are your thoughts on the spacing in there?
I didn't think I thought 1923 was a little bit tighter space wise than than that one. But I mean, our table was right on the like aisleway or the walkway, so maybe that's why it didn't seem as tight. But yeah, I didn't have a problem with anything there.
Okay.
How about the food in there? I know you were just saying the food was in general pretty good.
Yeah.
I was just listening to our episode from April and listening to us comment on how bland everything was in that meal. Like it was just not a good food meal for us at all.
So, okay. So I love you guys. I also am super adventurous when I go on cruises, right? I don't order anything I can normally order at home. So Bill has a seafood allergy, so I order every seafood item I can. And he was actually really adventurous and went vegetarian. So we don't like, if there's a burger on the menu, I'm not ordering it. But that stuff was just, honestly, I didn't pick up the salt and pepper shakers at all. his meals, the vegetarian meals were fantastic. Like the freshness of them and the seasonality, how they were seasoned was fantastic. And then for me, it was all fish.
Oh, cool.
I know. I remember I had some sort of shrimp appetizer, I think, there. And it was the wateriest shrimp I have ever had.
I think Andrew got the shrimp, and he really enjoyed it. So
that wasn't frozen. I think that wasn't frozen.
Maybe.
Because I had it too. It was in like this bowl almost. It was almost like a soup.
It was at Worlds of Marvel. It was the Dylan Meyer lemon marinated shrimp.
I think Andrew had that. I don't remember what his opinion of it was.
Yeah.
I had, I think, some sort of pasta, and it was very good.
Well, I'm looking forward to trying it again.
I also ordered my dessert off the kids' menu. So there's that.
That's
What'd you get?
It was some fancy cupcake that the kids next to me had. And I was like, what is that? And he was like, it's the kids' one. I went, yep, I'll take that.
I love that about Disney. That's a plus. You can get whatever the heck you want, including grilled cheese sandwiches.
Yes. Including grilled cheese sandwiches.
We did not ask for grilled cheese this cruise. Darn it.
What are you doing?
Failure.
Something to aspire to for next time.
That's right.
It was because of I know you're not there yet. The quick service food options on the pool deck.
Yeah.
They had so many more options. Like we got our taco fix and our barbecue fix and salad fix, right? Like I didn't need a grilled cheese sandwich.
That's fair. It's okay. It's okay to be wrong. It's okay.
It's fine. I'm used to it.
All right, on to Arendelle. How was your frozen meal? Hopefully it wasn't frozen.
No, it was very loud. Which I mean, it's a show. That one was very loud. The meal was good.
Yeah, hard to carry on a conversation. And no, we were away from the stage, right by the service station. So maybe we were hearing the service station too. But
got it. That's so. When we went, we were sitting right next to the stage. So we had a great view of everything. How was it from the back of the room?
It didn't, we could still see everything going on, very well. So that didn't, the fact that we were back from the stage didn't take away from the show. Yeah. And there were a lot of points where they walked around so that they got closer to us. But yeah, you could still see everything from where we were. It was just very loud.
It was probably a better vantage point for us being 4 adults. Away from the screaming children. And then Olaf did come visit. So, nice. that was good too.
Sweet. That was my next question. Was Olaf working?
Yes. Yeah.
Sometimes he takes a night off. Mm-hmm. Sometimes he loses an arm. I heard he lost an arm the other night.
Oh no, he was fully intact on ours.
Good.
He was good to go.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we've seen in the movies, he just kind of falls apart every once in a while, so it's to be expected.
It's true.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Okay. Samantha, I don't even know a Samantha.
What do you think of the food there?
I really enjoyed it. I couldn't pronounce anything that I ordered, so I was a little hesitant when I ordered everything. But no, actually, I really enjoyed my meal there. I think that was probably one of my favorite meals of the 3 restaurants. I very much enjoyed it.
I did as well. I also felt like every night we left full, but not like roll me out of here. Like maybe that was just in our ordering choices too. And then, you figure out what works for you. But I just remember going on some cruises where you're like, oh my God, I can't eat another thing. And we were like, what's for dessert? Like, I'm good.
All right. So after dinner, obviously you guys went out. What'd you think of all the bars and other locations on the ship?
Okay, so I loved the little booth area up at the adult entertainment area. What was the name of it?
Luna?
Yes.
Yeah.
Luna. Okay.
It was the second floor.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, yes. The second floor, which I understand can be very distracting because there's people walking around, but that's how my brain works anyway. But we could sit at this booth and literally watch a TV monitor. Like, I didn't even have to really focus on what was happening because there was a TV monitor in front of me and they just kept bringing me drinks. It was magical. You're
perfect.
Yeah, I think we went to an adult activity every night. But yeah, we sat up there because we wanted to watch we didn't want to participate necessarily.
That's not true. I wanted to do Match Your Mate with Bill, but he wouldn't do it.
Yeah, that's true.
Shocker.
And I said I would be sitting on the second floor acting like I didn't know them. So
Exactly. Just ordering more cocktails and pretending she didn't know me. We really liked the Keg and Compass. It has some food options, so I got my German pretzel and stuff like that. The service was really good every time we went in. I will say I expected something similar on the other side.
Yeah.
And that was not a bar. It was like a child's area. It said bar on the map, just for the record, because we tried to hit them all, and that said bar, and there was no bar in there.
Oh, it was the Triton Lounge, I think. If I remember correctly.
Yeah.
It was like
not
the
a bar.
studio. It was the equivalent of like Studio D from the other ships. Like I think that's where they did the game shows for the families, but there was no bar in there at all.
But pull it up on the map. On the deck plan, pull it up. There's a little martini glass, and there is no martini glass.
Shame. False advertising. What other bars did you like?
The Tiana one.
Bayou. Yeah.
Bayou.
Yeah.
That one, we went there a couple times. We did not get beignets, but we did stop there a couple times. It was fun. I enjoyed Nightingales. We only went there briefly one night before dinner, but they had live piano music, and we just sat and had a cocktail. I really enjoyed it. I probably would have, had we had more nights, would have gone and spent an evening there. I really enjoyed it.
We had a tasting there, and I was shocked how small that place is. Like, most of these places are just tiny compared to what we're used to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's very true.
Do you think that was the right call?
Yes and no. I say yes because I felt like there were additional options. Like there were more places you could go, even though they were smaller. So I didn't feel like the ship was crowded. And I never saw the same people or the same bar twice because you would run into another one before you got back around.
Right.
Very true. My favorite was the Rose. That was hands down my favorite spot for many reasons. The view was great, but also when you step off the elevator area and it's inevitably loud because I think like there's a whole kids area right next to it and you walk through that door and it closes behind you and there's silence.
Yeah.
So I loved that area. We went there quite a few times.
Nice. What'd you think of the Cove Cafe and the Cove Bar and that whole adults only area that's kind of shoved off back like they forgot to put it into the plan?
Okay.
I mean,
you were correct.
That's
they forgot about it. They forgot. And then they were like, oh, shoot, we should just add another deck and let's move it back here. My first impression, because they were at Palo, was we got up on Saturday morning and I needed coffee. So we got to go to the Cove, right? That's what we do. And it was Nassau and it was pouring down rain. So you get up to that deck and he's like, we have to go out here. There is no cover. There is, and it's not close. Like you feel like it says aft elevator. By the way, it feels like midship. Yeah. And you had to walk all the way to the and around the pool, mind you, the pool, over to the other side, and then go in the same sliding doors. So when you walk in soaking wet, then you're an instant ice cube. And now I don't want coffee anymore.
Yeah.
Okay, well that was exactly what our take on it was this is going to be a disaster if there's any sort of bad weather. And the good news is there's actually a bunch of other places to go get coffee and stuff all around the ship. And I think it's probably a disservice for those of us who are very familiar with the rest of the cruise ships from Disney because you always have to go to Cove. That is the place to go get a nice coffee. Right. Versus on the Wish, they've got like 4 or 5 different places scattered all around. So live and learn.
By the way, when it's raining on that deck, the water dips and it floods the bar area, the adult bar that's by the pool. So you literally are walking through a foot of water just to get back over to where you can get the elevators. I'm just for the record, that's what happens.
So the other fun thing about that design was, they have off the back of Palo, they actually have some alfresco dining outside on the deck
that they cannot use.
That they can't use because of you get splash over from the infinity pool up in the adult area.
I didn't. It was raining when we went, so I just assumed that's why nobody was out there.
Nope, they can't use it.
You're kidding me.
No, not kidding at all.
Well.
Okay,
Live
well, we do have another story about that pool, though.
Okay.
So we checked it out. We even sat in the really weird benches because we wanted to try it out to see what it was like. The infinity pool itself is awesome. And I want to come back here when we leave Castaway because this view is everything. And that's my thing. I love to be in the pool after Castaway, just kind of rinsing off and have a cocktail and get to hear the horn. Okay. So we do have a beautiful day at Castaway. We get back, we get in the infinity pool. Everyone's having a great time. We've got beverages. We start to pull away from the dock and it's like I'm tearing up a little bit because I hate to leave that place. And we're leaving and they make the announcement. They didn't play the horn.
Or you didn't hear it.
Yeah.
Right? So they didn't play the horn. And we're screaming at everyone that will listen, play the horn, play the horn. Finally, someone comes over and it's like, crazy lady, they did, you just couldn't hear it.
Like, not even like slightly muffled or barely, you could not hear it at all. We genuinely thought they did not play it for some reason. Like, that's how well isolated that area is, I guess. But yeah, we couldn't hear it at all when we pulled away.
Lame.
Yeah.
Right? Like the one thing you pay how much money to hear that magic horn and we couldn't even hear it.
I've heard they're not playing it as much anymore. Like I think like in Nassau they're not playing it or depends on the captain. Like there's scuttlebutt going on online about why isn't the horn playing all the time.
So they played it for us when we left Nassau, but I was a little disappointed. Like I had my phone ready, I was recording. And normally on all the other ships, they play like every single song in their repertoire when they're pulling out. They played like, I think Andrew said it was Star Wars. I didn't really recognize it. And then they played When You Wish Upon a Star. And that was it. Like, I think in my video, you can even hear me saying, really? That's it? I got 2 songs? Like, what is this? So they played it, but it was a little disappointing because they only played a little snippet.
Should go ask guest services for a refund.
Yeah, exactly.
And that one has the really cool horns too, where it does chords.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On the subject of pools, though, I will say we also hung out quite a bit at Currents, which is on like the 14th deck or whatever, forward.
Yeah.
And I think it was like the last day that Rachel was looking at the deck plans and she goes, hey, there's a pool up there. And so we walked to the very front and there's a whole pool. It looked kind of reminiscent of like a Satellite Falls.
Yeah.
Like it had the bench and whatnot. It was closed because it was bad weather when we discovered it, but that pool looked very intriguing and it didn't look like it was tucked away. So I don't know that it was very crowded all the time. So I feel like that would be a good spot to discover if you're looking for a place to enjoy the pool.
We knew that was there because our rooms were right there. We were in concierge when Alicia and I were on there in April. So we went by that all the time.
Is that the one that's near the horns?
Yes. Because the horns are on the front funnel.
Oh, so we could definitely hear the horn
You
from
would
there.
definitely hear it. Yes.
Yeah. But you wouldn't get that infinity like background as you're pulling away from the island, you know? My picture's amazing and I took like it wasn't a panoramic, but I put it on my work background. So all my Zoom calls, it looks like I'm overlooking Castaway. And I was like, yeah, I don't care. Suck it.
That's nice.
I did that in the pandemic. I used my one of my pictures from Welcome to Miami from when we were in Cozumel.
Yep.
Yeah, that was, everybody's like, where's that? And I want to go there now. I mean, while everybody's locked in their houses, never leaving. Yeah, that was halfway amazing, halfway torturing of everybody, including myself.
Nate, that was our last day. No, it was their last day on dry land. We got on dry land at Grand Cayman, but that was their last day on dry land.
Yep. You and I went to hell. Literally. So I could send a postcard to our pastor from hell. Yeah, it's just how we roll.
Yep.
When you say that out loud, does it sound the same to you as it just did?
it's a good thing I'm an ordained elder.
Mentioned it earlier. What did you all think about the Festival of Foods?
Loved it.
Fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Loved the barbecue, loved the cantina. Like, we actually planned to go back to the cantina on our last day, and we didn't make it up there before it closed, and I was like craving it. So we got home and it was not the same, but I had to order like Chipotle or Tijuana Flats or something because I was just craving it. Loved the cantina and the tacos.
Mm-hmm. Those are yummy.
It's definitely a great add to just the regular hamburger, hot dog, and pizza options, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
they took it to another level. I mean, there was the ice cream as well, but you just had so many other options, and then you could just take it back to wherever you wanted to go. I didn't feel like a lot of people ate it there.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's definitely not the same as it is on the other ships, and it's a good thing. I think the pizza is actually better too.
Yeah, the pizza
I
was
don't
really
know
good.
how or why, but it was better, at least for us.
The burger,
Yeah, the burger was nothing to write
tacos
home
were
about.
great.
Yeah.
I liked the barbecue. Yeah, we really enjoyed all that.
Mm-hmm.
What'd you think of Marceline Market, the replacement for Cabanaz?
It was fine.
Yeah.
It's the buffet.
Yeah. I mean, we, I think, Rach, you guys went and had breakfast there a couple times. We, I think, only went like for lunch the day we boarded.
Okay.
I mean, it was good. And I didn't feel like it was as crowded. It might've just been the time that we went, but I didn't feel like it was as crowded, or we didn't have trouble finding a table like you sometimes do at Cabanas. So I appreciated that. And again, it almost felt a little more segmented, a little more intimate when you were sitting in the dining rooms, felt a little more separated. But I mean, food wise, it was fine. It wasn't anything
I'll add
fantastic.
2 things to that. Breakfast time up there is every man for themselves. You just better know what you want, and you just got to go in and hope you can get that.
Yeah.
The second thing, I felt shamed because the Mickey waffles are only available at the kids counter, which is literally a 3 feet counter or 3 foot counter. And literally all these grown adults are standing at this 3 foot counter to get Mickey waffles. And I was like, can they not just put them at the adult counter? They know we're going to eat them.
Right.
Like, I think they were doing it on purpose, because then I just talked about it the rest of the day about how I just wanted a Mickey waffle and they made me stand in the kids line. I'm still not over it, as you can see.
Mac and cheese was the same, because I was getting some mac and cheese, but it was only at the kids station. So I feel your pain.
I feel like it's nicer than Cabanas. Like, it doesn't feel as much of a college cafeteria kind of vibe going on. And the seating looks nicer. But yeah, Alicia went for breakfast one morning, and it was the same free-for-all, impossible to find a place to sit.
There was nowhere for me to sit.
Yeah, it's not good, and I don't know how else. I mean, because you also want a place where you can just go grab something and then like move on with your day too, right? It doesn't need to be sit down every time, but good God, maybe it's just the people, right? You're just like, come on, like, just wait in line like normal humans. They're going to give you your Mickey waffle. It's going to be okay, but no.
Yeah, these cruises would be great if it wasn't for everybody else on the ship.
All of the other people.
Exactly. That's it.
All right, so overall impressions of the Wish. Thumbs up, thumbs down. What do you think?
It's still a very great Disney product.
Yeah.
It is different only because it's different for us. Like, I'm used to the Wonder, which is my favorite ship, by the way. There we go.
Yep.
And I like things where I like them. But change is also okay. So overall, it was decent. It was a great 3-day escape, right? I feel like 3 days is too short for anything. But I would totally go back. Girls trip, anybody?
Yes.
Sweet. Y'all are going on the Wish. Bill and I are going to Boston. Let's do this.
Yes.
I'll be 2 up on you, Nathan.
Crap.
I would say I agree. I had heard a lot of mixed things before we went on the ship, and so I tried to go in with an open mind and make my own opinion. Overall, yeah, I think it was a great ship. Loved the theming. It was definitely very different from the other ships that I'm used to. Some of it, I think, if I went on it for a longer amount of time, I would get used to the layout and it wouldn't be an issue. Also, I think the placement of our stateroom, now that I know where things are, would be very different. We were deck 9 forward, and like we were talking about the cove and the adult areas. A lot of those were in the back on 13, 14, and you cannot walk across. So it was very much an up, over, up, down.
Yeah.
So a lot of that can be fixed also with placement of the stateroom. And so now that I know the ship, I would be a little more strategic about some of that. So overall, yes, I was very impressed, very much enjoyed it, would absolutely go again. Is it my favorite of the Disney ships? No, but very much enjoyed it.
Had they fixed the elevators?
Okay, so I was going to bring that up. We didn't have any problems with the elevators, except that they were really narrow.
Yeah.
But what I would say is, and actually someone told me, you're going on the Wish. Listen, everyone complains about the elevators. If you walk past one, just turn around and go right back. I think there's another one coming. Just turn around and go back to the elevator bank you just walked by. And I was like, that's actually really good advice.
I will say the one thing that did frustrate me about the elevators is because they had some that only went to 11 and some that went to 14 and whatnot. They should have separate call buttons for those, because many times when we were trying to go to 14, we would get an elevator that would go to 11. We could get on it, but that was the only frustrating thing, that there should be a separate button for the ones that go to different levels. But other than that, the elevators were fine. We never really had a problem getting one. It was just trying to get the right one that went to the right place.
Were the buttons proximity buttons inside, or were they push buttons? Okay, so they fixed it.
Oh, they fixed it. Okay, that explains it. Because for everybody who's been on probably within the first year or so, or the first like 8 months, it was, what do you think of the elevators? And like, oh my God, they just light up every single floor if anybody gets anywhere near, because they were all proximity buttons.
They were all proximity buttons. You didn't have to touch them. You just had to put your hand close to it and it would light up. So if you get a crowded elevator,
it's bad.
It lights everything up. You
right, like you scoot against the side, because it is really narrow to let somebody through, and all of a sudden you just pressed every single button, even though you didn't touch the wall.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, yeah. No, they must have fixed that, because that was not the case.
Nice. All right. As we think about them building 2 more of these, what would you want to see changed?
I want the coffee bar to be accessible. And I want to be able to hear the horn no matter where you are on the ship. But don't lose the nightlight. Let's keep that.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Of course. Mara, what do you think?
That's tough. Yeah, I mean, again, I think the biggest thing that I prefer about some of the other ships is kind of some of the layout and the difficulty navigating. But again, that's just me getting used to it. So I don't know that there's anything that I would change per se. Maybe I also didn't do the spa, the rainforest room, or the slide, so can't speak to any of those. But I don't know that there's anything I would change.
I mean, they did make some adjustments, right, from the dream to the fantasy. So maybe there will be some things they were able to shift, but I guess we'll have to wait and see. The debut was supposed to be this week, but because of the hurricane, they pushed it, right?
Yeah.
Tuesday.
It's going to be the 5th now.
Yep,
so.
September 5th.
Okay.
But that's just the virtual. Yeah, that's just the virtual one, though. It's not like they're rolling it out, because it's still not going to get delivered until late next year. So we'll have to see. Yeah, it's going to be a bit.
There you go.
All right. Well, it is come time in our program for Alicia to torture you.
Oh, no.
And this is
So dramatic.
Fast Disney favorites.
gosh.
This is the lightning
Disney
round.
faves.
Yep.
Jeez.
Yep.
Okay.
So I apologize in advance for any lasting scarring or other mental issues that may happen as a result of what you're about to experience. But
It's so traumatic.
We'll just move forward.
Do we go one at a time? How do you do this?
I'll say it, and then it'll go Mayor Rachel, and then we'll flip and do Rachel Mayor on the next question.
Oh, so I will have an extra couple seconds on a couple questions.
Sometimes,
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm ready.
Okay. Mayor, favorite character?
Tinkerbell.
Rachel.
Sleeping Beauty.
Favorite movie? Rachel.
Pirates of the Caribbean.
Nice.
Mare.
Oh God.
Star Wars, right?
No. I'm gonna go Beauty and the Beast. It's a
All
classic.
right.
All right.
Favorite ride.
Okay, now it's that Guardians of the Galaxy thing.
Okay.
I mean, mind blown.
Okay. The Cosmic Rewind.
Yes,
Okay.
the one at Epcot.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm gonna say it's probably still gonna be Splash Mountain even after it's Tiana's because I think it's the same ride, but
Yeah.
I enjoy Splash Mountain.
We had
Okay.
somebody on who was a cast member at Splash Mountain at Disneyland the day it closed.
Yep.
And so we got to talk with them about like what that whole experience was like and everything. I forget what episode number it is, but it's worth looking up and giving it a listen because it was fantastic. Like he was amazing. And just that whole experience and everything that they got to do was just really, really incredible. So
That's awesome.
That's
It's
cool.
episode 79.
there you go.
I'll write it down. 79.
Next one. I think we know this one, but I'm still going to ask it. Meredith, Disney World or Disneyland?
World. It's what I grew up on.
Yeah.
World.
All right.
Surprise.
Surprise.
There's just so many more options. I mean, come on.
Well, and it's also local for you.
Yes.
So, like,
we're going to narrow it down. Favorite park?
Epcot.
Hollywood Studios.
All right.
all right. Because of the Star Wars land.
I mean, it helps. It helps, yes.
They did do a really good job theming that, okay?
They did.
Yes, they did.
Favorite hotel or resort?
Wilderness Lodge.
Well, I mean, you're also biased.
Slightly, but it's still the best.
You spent some cast member time there.
I did.
Well, yeah, and I was going to say, actually, I'll go Coronado. I was going to say Pop Century, but not necessarily because it's my favorite one to stay at, but because that was my resort. But I worked at Coronado as well, so I think Coronado.
Coronado. All right.
Very cool.
Favorite DCL ship?
Wonder.
Wonder. Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
Hands down.
It's unanimous.
Right
It's
answer.
unanimous.
Favorite Disney restaurant?
I love Citrico's.
Okay.
Andrew and I went there on our honeymoon. I love Citrico's.
I'm going to go Jico.
That's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
It's like one of those hidden gems, but again, with the whole, like, I order crazy stuff when I go out, it's one of mine. Yeah.
That was an amazing meal when we were there back in April.
So
that was
those
And you got your grilled cheese still there.
I didn't ask for it. That was of their own volition. And the restaurant
is
manager
true.
challenged the head chef to see how good of a grilled cheese he could make. And he did a really damn good grilled cheese.
Yeah.
Those are both resort restaurants. What about park restaurant?
I knew you were going to go there. Brown Derby.
Oh yeah, Brown Derby's a good one. The other one that popped into my head, I don't like it as much since they kind of changed the format, but Germany, the beer garden.
Okay.
Beer garden? Okay.
Yeah.
It's always a good one.
What did they change?
Well, during COVID, they took away the buffet aspect, and it was just like they brought platters to your table. I haven't been recently, so I don't know if they've changed that back.
Okay.
But it narrowed down the menu a bit, so it wasn't quite the same.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it.
Last one. Favorite Disney snack?
Churro.
Yes.
Pretzel.
Not a turkey leg?
Oh no. She
We have
went
both
there.
sold those. We will never say that as our favorite.
The look of horror.
What is the question that's out there? What is the absolute worst snack at Disney, and why is it a turkey leg? Like, you don't even need to ask the question.
Oh, well played. Well played. Well, thanks, y'all. It was so great to have you on. And kind of actually tonight that we're recording is the 1-year anniversary of us doing Moonlight Magic over at Hollywood Studios.
Such a good time.
So, yeah.
Like a date night. You had a double date night, Nate.
It was pretty awesome, except for my best friend wasn't there, but she was on the other side of the country. So,
Yeah.
oh well. Oh
Bringing
well.
the kids to school.
Yep. Somebody had to.
Yep.
Well, thanks again, girls. We will
Thanks for having us.
talk to you again very soon, and we'll see you in December.
Months. Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be here before we know it. So, yeah, I'm excited.
Absolutely.
Thanks for the invite. Again. This was super fun. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Just a reminder, we are not affiliated with Disney, and we are not travel agents. We are offering our opinions and suggestions. We do recommend working with a travel agent to plan your perfect vacation.
If you have any questions or suggestions, or would like to be interviewed on our show to share your Disney experiences, please do send us an email. We're at podcast@ourmousecapades.com.
You can follow us on all the socials at Our Mousecapades. Please do take a moment, rate and review us in your podcast app. It really helps people find us.
Thanks for listening. We'll be in your ears next week.
Thank you for flying Star Tours. Bye-bye.
You can edit all that out, right? Okay. Let me start over.